Hi, I'm Julie Holt from the PMC studio. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about the bracelet mandrel by cutting clay. Now, the background to this was that I needed a mandrel to do a bangle making tutorial that I was working on. So I wanted to make these three bangles here. So I've got a tension bangle. Try and get that focused in nicely. Got this open cuff, so you can see it's open at the back, and then a standard oval bangle. So I wanted to be able to make those. However, the cuff in particular was giving me a real problem. I couldn't use a traditional oval mandrel, and the reason for that is the graduation. So if I just show you this, this is my stainless steel oval mandrel, and you can see it's thicker at this end and thinner at this end. And the same with my wooden one too. So again, thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top. Now that's all very well when you're working with something that's quite thin, but when you're working with something that's this wide, you don't want that graduation. Otherwise it's not going to be as big on one side as it is on the other. So that was the problem I was trying to solve. So I got in touch with Ewan at Cutting Clay and explained to him what was going on, and he agreed to develop a prototype for me. And based on that prototype, we then tweaked it and made it work as it is now. So I'm going to take you through the released bracelet mandrel and talk to you about how to use it and some of the features that Ewan has built in to make life easier for you when you're creating bangles. So here's everything as it comes out the box. So let me just talk you through all the different components. So first of all, you've got your case for your bracelet formers. So you've got three sizes here: small, medium and large. Okay, and so if I just take one of these out so you can see it. So that's the former. Okay, and then you've got this neat little drawer and that pops it back in there. Okay, so there's the three of them. Now with these, you can actually make them larger if you wish. So if you're trying to make a bangle and it's not the exact size of any of these, then what you can do is you can just wrap like masking tape or gaffer tape around this and just keep wrapping it round and building it up until it is the diameter that you want. Okay, so that's worth thinking about. So that's the first thing then, is the carry case. Now, one of the things with the case is it's actually made to stack with the ring system as well. So if you're a fan of cutting clay formers, then you'll know that there's a ring mandrel set, and that comes in a similar case. So the idea is they both stack together, and that's what these clips are actually for. So these clips that you get in the pack are designed to actually go on the side and clip the two together so that you can stack them. Okay, so quite often get asked, what are those clips for? Now you know. And of course the other thing is the top neatly takes the actual holder itself. So you can basically stack all your mandrels together, put the holder on top, and life is good. Okay, now the bit that we're interested in is the actual former itself. So we've got these two things here, and these are designed to stop the mandrel from spinning when it's actually on the former, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. You've also got your piece of metal, which is the spindle for the former, and then we've got this funny little thing here with magnets on, and this is actually a brake. Okay, so it's actually designed to be used in conjunction with this and conjunction with these. So these have got little magnets in the end, and it can just give you a bit of stability when you're working with it. So let me put all this together and show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so I've got the medium mandrel here, and I've got my spindle. So first thing to know is which hold you want to use. So on the holder, you've got that hole there, which gives you a slight angle. You've got this one that gives you more of an angle. You've got this one on top, and then you've got the horizontal. So you've got vertical and horizontal as well. So you put the spindle in and then you place the actual former on it. Okay, so you can see when it's in the horizontal, that's how it's being held. So that's my working position. I quite like the diagonal ones, so that one is a bit too pronounced for me. I like the gentle one there, so that tends to be my sort of favourite one. And so that's my working position. Now, when you're creating bangles with these, you tend to want to sort of work in the sort of top widest area, so you don't tend to want to work on one of these angles. And so this is where these breaks come in, because what will happen is when you start to actually work with this, as you put the clay on, the weight of it will start to make this move. And so this is why I asked Ewan for some breaks. So before you actually start working with it, you just need to figure out what position these need to be in to stop this from spinning, so that you know how to set it up. So as an example, if I pop that one there, so you can see that these are triangular and they're made to actually go through these holes. Okay, that one's not quite fitting, so let's try that one there. And what I'm doing, and this is what you need to check for, is you need to see which ones are working with your former. So by looking at it this way, holding it square, you can see where you can see all the way through. So can you see how that stops it from spinning? So that acts as a brake. Now this one isn't doing much at all, so what I need to do is change its position. So I think for this one, I might want to try and put it down the bottom there, and you can see how that's changed things quite a bit. Okay, so you just need a whole triangle. So wherever you can actually get a whole triangle, it just stops the movement. And so this means that you've got a bit of movement when you're forming, but what can't happen because of these is the whole thing can't spin. And that's a particular problem I had when I was doing this cuff. So as soon as I put the clay on, the weight of the clay, the whole thing started shifting. And that's why I said to you, Anna, please give me some breaks. And I'm just trying to see. Now that one there would actually, so that really locks it in there. But I think for this one, that's probably about the best. Okay, so check all that first before you actually use it. Now the other thing that Ewan gave us was this magnetic brake. So this is more where you're working with it, but you want it to flick back. So if I just give you an example, you can see I've put it in the top there so that it sits behind this one. And what it does is it just gives it, can you see how it flips it back? So if you're doing something round here, but you want it to flick back into this position, but not carry on all the way round, then this is what this magnetic brake will do for you. So, and that is pretty much it, to be honest. So have a play. The key with this is to make sure that you understand your setup before you actually get working with the clay. So plan out your piece, which is always a good thing to do anyway. Know which former you're going to be using. Know where you want to put in the breaks. So plan all that up front. Also know whether you want to use this, and if so, how do you want to position it, because it's got magnets in various positions, you can see. Yeah. So depending on which one of these you're using will depend on which way round you put this in order for one of these to be able to hit a magnet. Okay, so yeah, so just have a play with those first, and that's it. So that's all about how to use the bracelet mandrel by cutting clay. And if you would like to make one of these bangles or bracelets yourself, then have a look at our site here. I've got it up on the screen. So it's Learn Silver Clay Online. Here's the URL. Okay, and when you come on to our landing page, just click on See Course List and then scroll down. And this is where you'll see all the training that we offer. And right here under Make Something Special is the tutorial bundle for these 3 projects. Any questions, let me know, and hope to speak to you soon.